Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Heartful of Hallmark. We are so excited to have Jason joining us. Thank you for being on here.
Hey, Kirsten. Hey, Noah. Yeah, thanks for having me back on.
Yeah.
We always love having you on here. And I've gotten a couple of people being like, when is Jason Bourque coming back on?
We have.
And when is Max McGuire coming back on? It's you two. None of the actors. I'm like, well.
Oh, that's awesome. Max is so talented. Yeah, he's set up in Ottawa. He's just killing it. I know he also does Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies and super talented. He did an awesome feature years ago that was fantastic. Again, super talented filmmaker.
Super good friend to us, man. He's one of the nicest people in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
But let's get a little bit dark, because we're not here to talk about much happiness. Because this film is not light and happy. It's more like Before Your Father Finds Us, which premieres on Lifetime Saturday, July 26th at 8 p.m. And if you don't catch it then, it will be on again at midnight that very same night.
Nice.
So let's get into the questions. How this is going to work, it has changed since then. Normally, we just ask you, but now, so it's easier for you, we each have our name there, so we don't go over each other, and you can read the questions along with us and see it if you come up with another answer.
Oh, okay. That's all good.
And Kirsten's going to start us off.
Okay. So the first question that I had was, were there any scenes that were especially challenging to shoot, either emotionally or technically?
Ooh, interesting. So first off, because I know you guys have usually we talk about Hallmark movies with Christmas trees and lots of fake snow, lots of snow special effects. This one actually had physical special effects. We had explosions, which was a lot of fun because we actually threw a grenade at Tom O'Pinnicket. We also had we have a Glock shootout. The Glock shootout in the woods was probably one of the more technical scenes we had to do. Not to get too much into the special effects. Usually it's visual effects whenever you have like a bullet hit that creates the spark. And that's how a lot of these action shows are done. I'm very old school. So when we did it, we have what's called Zerk hits. So when you have like, and I'll explain what that is quickly. When Alexa and Jada are hiding behind a tree and you know, the sniper rifles going off, those hits are actually created by a guy with a paintball gun off to the side shooting these dust balls. And the dust balls, when they hit, create that whole thing. Plus, we were also doing squibs, which is old school, but the squibs were on the trees. So when we had the rotting stump, we actually had little explosions, like practical explosions. And again, they're loud. And there's lots of dust. It's like the smoke, you know, from the grenade going off. So very technical from a special effects standpoint, especially with how, you know, we got to shoot these very quickly. So it was very safe, obviously, but from a technical standpoint, I would say the explosion as well as the Glock shootout was probably the most technical that we had to do, and some of the fight sequences as well.
Yeah, that was definitely an intense scene. Like, I loved how much suspense there was throughout the whole film.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. I was really trying some different techniques. It's like when Jada's like, with the wood pile.
Yes.
Bends over and it's a bit of a horror movie jump scare that, you know, having, you know, Tomo behind. And also I think one of my favorite scenes, and technically was a lot of fun, was actually the fight scene. Not much of a fight scene, but it's where the boyfriend is getting beat up in the living room. Yeah, and and I did it as a oneer, so the camera is like kind of way back, and it slowly is kind of creeping in as a headbutt, and he's getting punched and he's getting thrown. In actuality, that living room, you can't see it. We had all these mats set up, all these safety mats. So when he gets thrown into a safety mat, we create the sound effect of a breaking window. When he's lift off the ground and he's thrown out of frame, he's landing into a mat, but we have the sound effect of a table as it's crashing. And we actually did it with a stunt double. But get this, we did what's called a cowboy switch. Are you guys familiar with the cowboy switch?
I am.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
But Kirsten's not.
So Kirsten, so what it is, and it dates back to the 1930s in Western movies when a
Mhm.
stunt guy is like, in a Western, he's thrown, say he's picked up and he's thrown over a saloon bar in a bar fight, and then the actor jumps up, from like, oh, I'm, continue doing the fight, but the stunt guy is the one who's actually getting thrown. And when he exits frame, so what we actually had was a stunt guy was doing all the throws and everything else, and then we switched him out to Brendan Zub when he gets thrown out of frame, and Brendan Zub comes in to get his head smashed against the door. So it's old school, using cowboy switches, the squids, the practical explosions, but it was a blast. I mean, I don't get to do that often in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, he really got banged up. I was like, is he gonna make it through this?
Yeah.
He didn't make it. He's so abused.
Speaking of which, leads perfectly into our next question. You're mostly known as the rom-com guy now.
Yeah.
So how do you flip the switch from a happy rom-com to a thriller like this? What's the switch in your brain?
It's actually super easy for me because my background is actually sci-fi movies and thrillers. And I directed my first thriller back in 2002. And my most successful work that's been theatrical movies, like Drone with Sean Bean and Blackfly. Those are like really dark, like action, and very much like the dark psyche of the, the dark corners of the human condition. So all that stuff comes very easy for me because I love that genre so much. And to be honest, I was doing so many Christmas movies and I thoroughly enjoy them. I just finished one, but I had all of these ideas to do a thriller. So I was just like gangbusters with we had basically it's about 14 days, but I went big. I went big on like, what can we do that's a little more unique, a little more original, developed a very cool cinematic language because I honestly just wanted to cut loose. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't have to switch. It's like me. It's like, yes, go time. Finally.
Yeah.
I can
Alexa,
jump into it again.
When Alexa chatted with us, she even told us too, like, it was nice to like step out of like the rom-com setting and like do something filled with action. And she was saying how much she enjoyed like being on set.
Oh, she was wonderful. And it's I don't know if she got into her background, but she can actually shoot guns and she could ride motorcycles. And obviously because of the Spy Kid shows, anything to do with stunts, she learns it very quickly because we don't have a lot of time to rehearse a lot of the fight sequences. So you got to do it over lunch, basically, with these type of schedules. So she had everything that we needed. Plus, I mean, she went above and beyond, like Tomo and Jada, just always rehearsing their lines, always trying to get that as awesome and in depth and as real as we possibly could. Especially with Tomo, because we didn't want him to be a stock villain.
Yeah,
I think for me, the best villains, they kind of feel like deep down the villains feel like they're doing the right thing, and Tomo wanted his family back, and his love for Jada, that Jada's character was like that had to be very strong to understand his motivation, and I thought he nailed that. Again, he's creepy, but at the same time, you understand what's making him tick, at least from my end. So we spent a lot of time on Tomo's character. So it just really resonates. Like it feels like there's extra levels. He's not like a Terminator type of a guy. So yeah. Oh, I have a dog in the background who's whiny a little bit, just in case it's not my stomach, it's my dog.
You're fine.
Yeah, she's like 19 and a half. So it's, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, ask away. I'm going to go get her just for a second.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh.
We love dogs on here.
Yeah, we've had so many dogs join us on the podcast.
Yeah, she has socks because she's like 19 and a half. So she slips a little bit on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she's missing some teeth.
I have some crazy stories about my dog too, but man,
is it a pug?
No, he's a red fox blonde lab.
Oh wow! Oh, that's amazing. I love dogs. I used to have Frankie on set as much as I could, kind of strapped to my chest, and she's like, "Roar, roar." It's like, why not? Oh yeah, but excellent. I'm so happy you guys saw it and you actually felt the suspense.
Yes.
We spent a lot of time working on that. The composer, by the way, Michael Nielsen's amazing. So he did my feature Drone and Black Fly and a few of my romantic comedies as well. Justin Sebastian, the director of photography, he's incrable. I think he just did Providence Falls, which is a Hallmark, a trilogy coming out.
Yeah.
And that's stunning how beautiful that is. And he did one for me called Game of Love.
Yeah.
That won me the Leo Award for Best Director. And to be honest, so much of that look is a collaboration with the director of photography. So unlike a lot of these shows, we actually shot this basically with one camera as well. And it's just for me personally as a director, it just makes it a little more cinematic. So we could do a little bit more moves where you're not trying to fit in this extra camera guy, where you technically, you can hose it down. But we spent a lot of time on shot design with this, which I hope you guys can tell when you watched it.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know, we got a screener for it, so we got to see it early, and that's why we know what he's going on about with the fight scenes and this scene and that scene, because we've seen it before pretty much anybody else has, which was very special for us.
Nice.
Very special.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Jada was great, eh? Like she's like
she was great.
She's like star stamped on her forehead. And obviously her and Alexa just had wonderful, wonderful chemistry. The scene in the car, especially, I know the audience doesn't know what we're talking about yet, but when she realizes that her entire life has basically been a lie, I thought she did such a wonderful job. And most of that was like one take. Yeah. It's again, when you shoot nights on like in July, you're basically shooting with like the shortest nights of the year. Yeah. So we only have like, okay, we got like 6 hours of actual night. How are we going to plan this out and shoot this? So I always find the night shooting is probably the most complex. So luckily also we had some nice weather as well. So the overall look of the film, I thought, again, was just very cinematic, which we put a lot of time into that. I just had a dream team, between Tomo and Jada and Alexa and a lot of crew that I've worked with before that I know and trust. And like I said, it just felt like everybody went the extra mile on this, because they're not huge budgets, as we know.
Yeah.
Great location though, that lake house.
Oh yeah, the lake house was awesome.
Beautiful lake too. I mean, those scenes were beautifully shot. Oh my God.
Yeah, like the scene with Jada with like the lipstick, like marking the trees. I was like, that was so cool to add in like as a way to mark the spots.
Yeah, she was she's honestly just wonderful to work with. And a lot of them I have a history with. So I don't know if you guys are aware. So I've worked with Jada before. It was a first role she ever did. It was, and she brought out the photograph on set, and we replicated the photo. So I wish I had the photo with me. I worked with her when she was like 8 years old. It was like her first role, and it was Untold Stories of the ER.
Oh, okay.
For TLC, it's that, and it has like all the crazy stuff that goes down, the doctors got to talk about.
Yeah, the eye pops out, or a leg falls off or something.
Time. Someone gets like a crowbar in the head, and it's like it's impaled, and craziness. But anyway, so she played this little girl that had, I think it was like a bug had crawled into her ear, and she was Anyway, so we had this wonderful photograph of us, which we had to replicate. So I did the first time I worked with her, or first time she worked with me, was her first role. And same with Tomo Pinnickett. So Tomo and I worked on a movie called Wildfire 7, and that was one of his first roles back in 2002. And since then, I've done a lot of work with him. I recently did a sci-fi series in Doha, in the Middle East, and Tomo was in that as well. So again, it's always great. Alexa was interesting because I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, you get dropped into these situations, and it's always wonderful, but I never truly know. And she's like, immediately I knew how special she was, because she's bonds with everybody, and huge heart, very spiritual, connected with the material, incredibly easy to work with, and just bonded immediately with the cast and crew. So I got lucky, because honestly, it doesn't happen all the time. With sometimes when we have leads come in on, it's funny, on Hallmark, it's sometimes it's the male leads.
Yeah.
Can who are number 2 on the call sheet, and might be a little problematic, but that doesn't happen all the time, because always, we always want to work with great people. But this one truly was like such an easy dream job for me. It wasn't even a job, honestly. Like, this was just massive playtime.
We had the same thing here. Lex came on, and before she came on, she was shaking. I was stuttering. I was just shaking, slurring my words. I'm like, how are we going to do this?
I know.
Just for us, we grew up with her. I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
And her husband, we grew up with him too. We know his acting, his music. We've seen her in multiple things, their YouTube vlogs. We followed their lives, and they've been a part of us for almost 20-something years now.
Wow. Yeah.
And when she came on, immediately we just told her we are nervous as we've ever been, and she goes, "Why? It's just me." And I said, "That's the problem."
I didn't expect that, but we had that with some of the crew members at the end of the shoot. Our scripty continuity. It turned out that she was this huge fan of Alexa and her husband's music and all of this, and she got quite emotional. Like, she finally, because she has to be very professional, the scripty, throughout the show, but as soon as we wrapped, she had to, like, have her fangirl. "Oh, you're incredible! I can't believe we just finished a show together." Yeah, and she keeps in touch, which is wonderful too, Alexa. So it's not like off she goes. She's, again, very approachable, and I love to keep in touch.
She was the best. We loved her, and we went over on time a little bit, but we can't like cut anybody off, because when you ask her a question, she does the best of her ability to answer that to perfection, and she leaves in every single detail, which we love, because a few of our guests have went, "Yeah, that's how that works." I'm like, "Okay, great talking to you." But she went on for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
One question?
She went really.
Wow.
It was great. And we only had like 20 minutes slotted with her, so we had to cram as much as we could in there, which it's not.
Oh, that's fun.
Did we lose him?
I think he might be. He might have stalled.
I think his screen froze.
It's okay, Kirsten. We can talk.
We can keep going.
Yeah.
Did I lose you guys?
Wait, he froze.
That is the storm outside. I told you, storm.
Oh, wow.
It's storming here too. I was a little bit worried. In the background, I heard some thunder.
Wow.
Yeah. And so let's just move as quick as we possibly can with it.
Sure. What do you think? Ask away. Any other questions?
All right. Since we already spoke about the team, let's go into this one.
Okay. The film explores deep themes like trauma, identity, and family secrets. What message do you hope viewers walk away with after watching?
Ooh, interesting. Well, it's I've always liked redemption movies, and I think this is very much a theme of also redemption. The original title I came up with was Road to Deception, playing on Road to Redemption.
Yeah.
And I think her spiritual journey, knowing that she's deceived everybody, essentially, and knowing that she ultimately comes clean. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of it, I think there's a lot about acceptance and community. And those are always themes that I think that resonate. They resonate in Hallmark movies as well. Yep. And I think by beginning in a church and ending in a church, I think is quite powerful. So I think people in the end should actually feel, hopefully a little bit of emotion out of this. especially knowing the heart of it is a mother-daughter relationship. So if all the moms out there hug their daughters at the after watching the movie, and I think even though it has darker material, I do feel it's very much a family film from that end, especially again when it comes to that mother-daughter bond. So yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, from that end, with these type of themes, it's an interesting mix, to have like the suspense, and it's funny, like even some of the podcasts and people seeing this coming up even mention like, oh, it's quite a dark thriller. Did you feel uplifted at the end of it?
I did.
Yeah. The very, very end. Yeah. Just because through the whole film, you are cheering for one thing. And once she gets, I'm not going to go into spoilers.
Yeah.
Shoot. Did I lose?
Oh,
the storm's picking in.
But I did think that like throughout the whole film that you could really sense the fact of like her just wanting to protect her daughter, and then them finding that new community that they were in with, they wanted to help out too. Like that, like you could sense throughout the whole thing. And I did like how it started with the church and ended with her being there too, and showing that like they were all able to come back together, and like her expressing like that, like everything that she went through, being open and honest about it.
Yeah, I think that worked. For me, what I liked, I like the simplicity, honestly, of the story, to have that kind of convergence. Like you're on like this train, and it potentially could hit this wall as it's speeding up towards that climax. And for me, that it's almost like a tightening of the noose as you watch it, I think was very effective. So I was super happy how that worked from a structural level of these type of films. You know that confrontation is going to happen.
Yes.
And that dread just keeps building and building. And I was so happy with how that ultimately played out. And they delivered, that climax, I think, truly for me was like, yeah, okay, we nailed this. I felt really good about how it all, came together at the end. So, I hope we could do a sequel with this one.
Yeah, that'd be neat to see a sequel.
Yeah, I think there's something there. Maybe she goes off to because she still has all these like special skills.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool. That I loved about it as well, knowing that, and again, because I also worked as a co-writer, so working in all these beats as we see a reveal as to what she's actually capable of, which I thought was quite powerful. It's like when she's cleaning the gun and her daughter finds out that her mom can she can actually fly a helicopter and a plane. These type of things. I just loved all those little touches. And honestly, I loved, even when the trailer was cut by Lifetime, I was super happy with it, because I find there's a lot of power in these type of roles for women. Yes. To have this mama bear type of a thing. I mean, she's so protective, and she'll do anything for her daughter. And I just think on a universal level, it's just something that we can all appreciate and connect with. And that's what Alexa's awesome at. Like, she just felt so down to earth.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Really special.
Okay, so the power to the computer is not very good. So we have spoke about many things, but I think this is the best one to end this off with. Let's do this.
If you could describe Before Father Finds Us in 3 words, what would they be?
Whoa. There's something I think at times is ferocious about it. And I think I mentioned redemption.
Yes.
And I think ultimately connection, I guess.
Connection.
Like I do feel that it has an energy to it that's I'd like to think kind of makes it stand out. So maybe ferocious, redemption. What was the other one I mentioned? Connection.
Connection.
Yeah.
Connection.
Yeah, totally. It's it's quite the fractured relationship she has with her daughter. So like I said, that's the heart of it. And they honestly, even on set, they connected so incredibly well. They were always off, whether it's playing games or joking around, and we had magical moments on this. It was like, we're shooting early morning in this beautiful location, and we're doing this big emotional scene, and we look over and there's this deer just kind of munching away on a leaf, just watching the performance, and we turn around and there's like, wow, it's like we joked around that Alexa was like Dr. Doolittle, because it's like we had squirrels and deer and they all wanted to check out her performance. What can I say? And Jade as well.
Yeah.
Well, we can't let you go off of the Heartfelt of Hallmark podcast without talking a little bit about Hallmark.
Ooh,
we're not going to reveal too much.
Oh, I got a great one coming out. It's awesome. It's truly awesome. The one we just wrapped, just did the edit on it. Robert Buckley, Kimberly Sustad. It's like comedy dream team. It's
that is
We got a lot. We got some notes from Hallmark that we had to keep it on brand because we went a little big with the stunts and with the physical comedy that was a little different for Hallmark. But we did it. It's really great. So it's called Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. And Rob came up with the idea. He developed it with Hallmark, and I think it's going to be a standout. I truly feel it's going to be a standout. Very unique. I don't think it falls within the usual. Not to say it's the usual, but it's I think it's different for Hallmark in a good way.
I love when they like play in more to like the comedy side of things with Hallmark, because like we don't get to see that often, and we know like how funny Robert and Kim both are. So I'm sure it's going to be like magical to watch on screen.
Yeah, it's probably the funniest one I've been involved in. So and again, it was just an ad lib fest. I mean, there's Kimberly and Rob. What they can come up with is just gold.
Yeah.
So that was the last one I did. So it was interesting. I finished off on When Your Father Finds Us, and then Before Your Father Finds Us, and then straight into working with Hallmark. So I did have to like switch it up a little bit. I literally just completed my edit and then started the next day on this fantastic Hallmark movie. So very blessed to have two completely opposite projects. Completely back to back. So that doesn't happen all the time. I usually have a break. So this was pretty good.
Do you have any more lined up for the future that you can talk about, or anything that you are developing?
I'm actually going on to a TV series.
Really?
Yeah, so we got a few episodes. It's called Blue Skies. Can't get too much into it, but it involves a dog. So I was pretty happy about that. But I think they'll have some press releases. We're kind of doing it on the down low, but it's a really great drama series. In a nutshell, it does involve like a park ranger and her dog that has some military skills. It's a lot of, solving crimes. It all takes place in national parks, like finding lost hikers. And it's just a really great, bonding with this wonderful dog. I'll be out, I think, next week to visit the set because I'm doing what's called the third block. So I got a couple episodes. Anyway, so that one's wonderful. So I'll probably just do that. And then looking at hopefully I'll squeeze in another project. But for this year, it looks like only one Christmas movie.
Whereas
last year I had 3. So much Christmas.
Yeah.
Last year, so much Christmas.
Well, Max was the same exact way. He had 4 or 5 projects?
I think so, yeah.
In a row, and he didn't stop working. And he goes, "Guys, I'm Christmased out."
Us directors, we get Christmas out sometimes, and you need to do like a crazy thriller just to clean your palate just a little bit. We're all blessed to be working, and no one knocks a Christmas movie. It's they're hugely technical. But again, it was so nice being able to have how it is when you look at a frame and it's all built with snow and snowman's over here and all the crazy blankets, but I can't move this way because it's all green summer and I can't move, it's like you got to set your frame. And it was so nice with Before Your Father Finds Us, because we were in this situation where I could just have so much camera movement and drones and travel shots, PMP and just so much we could work with compared to sometimes the limitations of doing a Christmas movie in July. So,
and our fans would be a little bit mad at us if we didn't throw in a little bit of this or that. we didn't have time with Lex, so we're gonna let you choose. Before we get into this, we have a new segment called This or That, where you pick the film that you would rather watch. We have a Christmas version and a rom-com version. Which version would you rather do?
Oh, you know, I would prefer, just because of the sheer technical involved, and I love to spend more time on acting and performance. And sometimes I don't get those opportunities because of so much special effects and visual effects going to those Christmas movies. So I think I mean, personally, I would say like a rom-com compared to a Christmas rom-com, if that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So we will go into the rom-coms and then we will wrap this up.
So we have 10 Things I Hate About You or Clueless.
And I just have to say my favorite?
Like, yeah. Which one you would rather watch?
Definitely Clueless.
I love that movie.
I love Clueless. Clueless is fantastic. Yeah. That and Mean Girls. Like I think. Yeah. It's totally classic. Yeah.
Like those are like movies that like you remember like all the lines to it because they're so iconic.
Oh, huge. Huge.
Speaking of iconic lines, When Harry Met Sally or You've Got Mail?
Oh, you know, they're pretty much equal for me. Probably When Harry Met Sally. I would say that's so hard.
I know.
They built the entire Hallmark model on those two movies.
I know.
They created their own subgenre. You know, it's like of comedy. But I would say When Harry Met Sally. And I say that, I mean, I'm a huge Meg Ryan fan. Huge. By the way, if you ever get a chance, check out Joe versus the Volcano.
Oh, it's so good.
Not a lot of people remember that one, but Meg Ryan plays like 3 characters. And it's brilliant.
And her last film was great. What happens later, or what happens now? That was really good. That was sweet.
Watch that one. That one.
Did she direct it as well?
Yes, she co-wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. She was really good in that.
Yeah,
and she hasn't done anything in years.
I know. I miss Meg Ryan. I'm glad she's back. It's like Cameron Diaz too. Like she's, finally she came back and did a Netflix movie with Jamie Foxx. It was sort of a goofy kind of action movie, but it's just, I guess when they make millions of dollars, they can, take a break.
Yeah.
Not like us.
Yeah. Well, not like us either, because we don't work in films. Yet.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm knocking on the door there, Hallmark. Come on now. Give me a shot for a short. Anyways, in all seriousness.
Say Anything or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, Say Anything. Huge. I'm not a huge Matthew McConaughey fan or Kate Hudson, to be honest. I like Matthew McConaughey in his like True Detective series. But I'm not a fan of him in the rom-coms. I think he came into his own doing like these awesome, incredible like dramas, and so that's where for me he's more of a fit, I would say. But I love old John Cusack because I grew up in the 80s and the Say Anythings. One Crazy Summer. He's done High Fidelity. Oh, like he's kind of hard to work with, to be honest. The older he's gotten, but all the older stuff, I think for me is like it's my childhood.
My dad's favorite is Better Off Dead. He loves that movie.
I love Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, because your dad's probably my age. Like that's totally like, I love all those old John Cusack. He was incredible. Grosse Pointe Blank is also an excellent John Cusack movie.
Yes.
He's a hitman who goes back to his high school for like a class reunion. Nailed it. Yeah. He's amazing.
Let's talk about another actress who was a staple and she's starting to come back. Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, or My Best Friend's Wedding.
You know, Pretty Woman doesn't hold up for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
It's not, but I would say Pretty Woman. I think it was magic was created. No one understood how or why it became this huge hit. And I like it when that happens, when it's magic in a bottle, because that movie should not have done well.
Nope.
The original script, as you guys probably know, if you ever look into the history of it, was very dark and was not a comedy. And her friend actually overdosed, and it was just like, so the fact it became this epic, iconic comedy. Yeah, I would say Pretty Woman. I like Julia Roberts. I think she's really come into her own. I'm like a buff with this type of stuff. I know Spielberg gave her a tough time playing Tinkerbell back on Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her she was picked on a little bit, I think, early on for just being a pretty face. And I think she's an amazing actor. I tell you though, Erin Brockovich, I've seen like 20 times. And for me, Erin Brockovich is the best thing Julia Roberts has ever done. I truly think it's probably on my top 10 list, actually. Yeah, that's an amazing Julia Roberts movie.
That and shoot. I'm gonna think of it. Her and Meryl Streep, August Osage County. That was really good. It's very dark though.
Yeah.
It's darkly funny. It's darkly funny. So if you don't like dark humor, don't watch it. But it's a very like woman movie. It's all about women. Her mom is dying, and they didn't get along. And there's a very funny scene where she's yelling at her mom, Streep, to eat the fish. So if anybody hasn't seen that scene, check that out if you want a good laugh. But if you want a good cry, watch as well. It's a movie that can do both.
Nice. I love a good cry. That's still like when I do Hallmark movies. Like that, my goal, honestly, is to make the audience cry.
And
I did one. A world record Christmas with AIS. That honestly is the biggest tearjerker I've ever been involved in. And AIS, we were partners in crime. Like we literally set out. It's like we had these talks, and he's like a little guy, and it's like he's like 13 at the time, and it's like, okay, how can we do this? We want America to bawl their eyes out, and we figured out the algorithm to make that happen. He was incredible in that. Yeah, and luckily all the reviews were like they all had to mention how incredibly good he was. But that for me was a Hallmark movie that we definitely were able to like. Yeah, you need a box of tissues when you watch that movie,
especially at the very, very end with the chair right there.
Oh,
that was like tear jerking, and I never cry in movies, but I'm like, damn it, Jason.
Are you announcing that you teared up and you cried watching that movie?
I teared up.
Your heart of stone.
The last movie that made me really, really cry was Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh.
That made me cry. Just because of Chadwick, I was close to that character. I loved him as an actor, and what they did in that. They got me to cry 4 times in that movie.
Wow.
Especially at the very, very end. That was a lot for me. And I was the only one in my audience.
Did you cry watching that movie?
I did for Endgame.
Endgame.
Yes, for like seeing like some of the characters that got like killed off or like we knew weren't coming back that we've seen for years and years in Marvel. That was like very upsetting for me.
Spider-Man's dead. No.
Yeah. That's funny. You would think it would be into superhero movies, but I actually haven't seen Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I haven't seen the Black Panther movies. I gotta get on it.
Yeah, I need to watch the newest Black Panther one. I just wasn't able to watch it at the time with everything happening with Chadwick.
When I walked in there, and it was silent. It was a fully packed theater. Everybody was just silent, looking at each other like, why is it so quiet? And every Marvel movie, it's the dun, 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 that famous Marvel theme. And it's like Captain America throwing his shield, Iron Man flying, Spider-Man flying across the screen. This time it was just the purple Marvel logo turned purple, and it's just pictures and videos of Chadwick.
Oh,
that was the beginning. And then at the very, very end, I am going to spoil something because it hasn't been brought up, and we're going on 3 years. This guy hasn't even been brought up again.
Yeah.
We find out that he had a kid, and his kid was hidden away, and nobody knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out, they reveal that they named the kid after him, and his name is T'Challa. So they named him after his dad, who's now gone. So that just made everybody ball up in the theater again. I heard weeping. That this old woman had a box of tissues and the biggest purse I've ever seen in my life. She had a box of snacks in there, a bag of chips, a bottle of pop, and a box of tissues. She kept on taking out the entire movie. But Jesus,
magic of filmmaking.
Well, let's do 2 more, and then we'll end it off here. And I want to ask you something off of stream.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. 50 First Dates or 13 Going on 30?
I would say 50 First Dates. I'm a sucker for any movie that takes place in Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I love going to Maui. It's like I thought Adam Sandler kind of nailed it. And Drew Barrymore is fantastic. And I know they team up a lot. I'm not a huge Jennifer Gardner fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just so yeah. But 50 First Dates, I think is it's really good. And like I said, I haven't seen is it Lilo and Stitch, the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is also have you guys seen it yet?
I haven't yet.
It's just crossed $1 billion globally, and it all takes place in Hawaii, and it has an Elvis Presley soundtrack, and I love Elvis, so that's top of my list is actually to see that movie, because again, I love Polynesian culture. So it's yeah. So anyway, so that would be my pick. Yeah, out of those 2.
And our last one is close to Kirsten. So we're gonna go back to the 1980s, and we're gonna end off with this one.
Ferris Bueller's.
That's so hard. Because again, that's my generation. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like Save Ferris. I was gonna buy one of those T-shirts. I'm a huge Ferris Bueller's Day Off fan. I just, all those movies, I think for me were just like that shaped who I was. So Ferris Bueller, yeah,
it's iconic.
No question. The impact that he had on my generation was just epic. Mm-hmm. And I think John Hughes as a filmmaker, I think did he do 16 Candles as well?
I
think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think more should be written about that guy. I think they should teach his classes in university on John Hughes, because he was such a prolific filmmaker, and he was able to just tap into youth. But he did it in a way that I kind of miss it, because nowadays we just don't have films like that. Mm-hmm. No. They were uplifting, and they were feel good, and sometimes those get knocked. I mean, it's like Hallmark movies. But John Hughes, I think, just had so much depth to those characters. So, like I said, and I think he wrote them like crazy quick. Like some of those movies, like he would write them in like 3 weeks.
That's insane.
Insane, but what an amazing talent, John Hughes.
Yeah.
I think it was Breakfast Club. He said he wrote it in a weekend, just on a whim. And I'm like, you wrote the Breakfast Club on a whim?
I know. Like, how is that possible? Like the talent.
Yeah, he's so good.
We need another John Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
Although I gotta say, I mean, my goal is to be the Martin Scorsese of Hallmark movies. So
you're getting there now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm working on.
You're getting there. But we will have you on again for your Christmas movie later this year.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm all in. I can't wait for that to be unleashed.
Yeah.
Like I said, so much comedy, so different. Like we did things in that people are just going to be like, yeah, it'll definitely, it's a little more unpredictable.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't seen it yet, Before Your Father Finds Us premieres as we're filming this tonight, July 26th at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. It'll be on again at midnight. Set your DVR. If not, go back on Friendly. You can go back as far as 3 days and pre-record it, or go on the mylifetimetv.com and watch it there with ads and support everybody. Jason, thank you so much for coming on. And as always, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And as always, keep your heart full of Hallmark.